Hey, so my name is Karen, also known as Zua. I am a creative communication specialist and founder of Kingdom Brand Movement. Full Armor. Check us out, www.wearefullarmor.com, wearefullarmor.com. So this is episode 2 in a series of vlogs entitled 33 Testimonies. First of all, just want to say thank you very much to everybody that took the time to watch the first episode. You can still check it out on my blog, my website, or you could watch it on YouTube. What I've come to realize very, very quickly is that these 33 testimonies won't be just to encourage me, and that is just the amazing way in which God works. He always has multiple plans within the plans that he makes for us. And I've had a really good response in that there's been quite a lot of people who say they've been encouraged or they can relate. And that really blesses me because I do want to encourage people. I do want to encourage people to rise up and be everything that you're called to be, everything that you're supposed to be. And maybe it's not talked about enough that, life is a battle. Life is challenging. Life is full of joy, full of blessings, full of all sorts, but you really do have to fight for what's yours. And what I'm finding is what's harder than doing something that you find challenging for the first time is probably doing it for the second time. There's inevitably expectation. Either you surpassed what you thought you would do or you fell short. And either way, it's about walking in the fear of the Lord and knowing that you've been given an instruction and you need to see it to completion. So before I delay any longer and get caught up again in any kind of fear, here it is, episode 2. What I want to talk about in episode 2, before I share my first testimony with you all, is using what is in your hand. I mean, we've heard it said so many times before, particularly if you're from the body of Christ or you go to church, use what is in your hand, meaning use what you have now. I mean, one of the things that I excused myself from doing this vlog with was saying that, I need a proper cameraman. I mean, as you can see, this is, this is me holding my phone. I need a cameraman. I need it to be edited. I need it to look amazing. I need it to grab people's attention. And that was an excuse for a long time. And that's what it was. It was an excuse. God said, use what's in your hand. When I was a kid, growing up in Zimbabwe, I was very much into the creative arts, drama, music, all that kind of stuff. And I used to spend hours in my bedroom talking to the world. I did. I would stand in front of my mirror and talk poetry, scripts. I would read every character, give each character a voice, an accent. And my mum would often say, walking past your room, it sounds like you've got 20 people in there. And I did used to say to God, even back then, I wish I had a camera where I could just talk to the world and ask questions and share encouragement and share ideas. And I really wish that was possible. This was way before the internet, way before cell phones, hadn't even been thought of really, except in our imagination when we watched, Star Trek or whatever those kind of sci-fi films were. So a few years ago, God reminded me of that desire when I was a kid. What is it that you wanted to do when you were a kid? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that, being in my room. And at the time I was holding my phone and God said to me, what is in your hand? And I looked at my phone and all kind of fear broke out all over me, because suddenly the very thing that I wished was possible was now completely possible. It was so easy. It was right there in my hand. YouTube, Vimeo. I mean, now we have Periscope, but you could literally talk live to the world and those who wanted to listen would listen. So suddenly, now that it was possible, now that I had no excuse, I made all kinds of other excuses, including I need an editor, I need a cameraman, etc. So now I find myself in a place where I've said, okay, God, no more excuses. Anytime I find myself saying I can't do this because, is it an excuse or a legitimate reason? And 9 times out of 10, it is an excuse. There is a way to do what you need to do by using what is in your hand. And a testimony, and I have to count this as testimony number 1, is I actually have had a few people inbox me saying, I'm a cameraman, I'm an editor, I have equipment. If you need any help, I will help you for free. And we all know that media and, that kind of stuff isn't cheap. It's not, the kind of thing that, I value those gifts. People that can use cameras, edit, and, invest in that kind of career. It's not cheap. So I see it as a really, really incredible blessing that people would offer me their time. So now Full Armor officially has somebody who is kingdom-minded and understands what I'm trying to achieve, and I will shout them out along the line and share with you who they are and how amazing they are. But that's testimony number one. I just want to give God thanks for providing. When you step out, it's almost as if you imagine a path that doesn't exist. It's not there, but you have to walk it. And it's only as you place your foot on the path that the path appears. And one thing that I can't remember who said it or where I heard it, but when you're driving a car at night and you've got the lights on, you can only see maybe, 100 yards down the road, especially if you're on a dark country road. You don't see the whole breadth of the road, the whole width of the road, the whole landscape. All you see is the 100 yards that the light allows you to see. And just because you can't see beyond that light doesn't mean that you pull over and stop driving. No, you keep going. The rest of the distance that you can't see is where your faith comes in. So many of us, in particular, I think in this season, are called to walk a path that maybe hasn't been blazed before. The trail's never been marked in the terrain before. You're the one that has to do it. So if you don't see an example, if you don't see how you're going to do something, it might be that you're the first, you're the prototype, you're the one who's going to do it, and it will blaze a trail and make it then easier for other people to walk along the path that you have created. So again, be encouraged that you may not see it, you may not know how, but take that first step. And all of a sudden, when you take that first step in faith, other people come along and they say, how can I help you? So thank you so much to everybody who messaged me privately, commented. It's encouraged me. It's encouraged me immensely to say that, okay, I'm just going to keep going regardless of what happens. So that's testimony one. God will provide when you step out in faith, the things that you need. You just have to start. You just have to be the first one to move. You drive the car. It's your journey. You may pick up passengers along the way, but passengers come and go. As long as you keep driving and you keep it moving and use what's in your hand, everything else will come together. The second testimony that I want to share today is that I have been invited as Full Armor to go to Chicago in 3 weeks. I can't say too much about it because it's a private event. When I know what I can share, then I maybe will share a little bit more. However, it is an opportunity to launch and showcase Full Armor in a completely new territory where I've never been to Chicago before. There's going to be a lot of professional, influential, alive, active, live as in open, awake people there. And I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. And when I look at the other people that are involved and the things that they have achieved in their lives, I'm not going to lie, my first reaction was, really? I'm a fraud? Are they going to find out when I get there that why have we actually invited this person? Just being real. True story. Everybody that has made it has had opportunities offered to them where they think, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready, I can't do this. But again, I have to step out. I asked God, I said, Lord, I want to be scared of things that are worth being scared of. I don't want to be afraid of stupid small stuff anymore. Take me out of my comfort zone. And as soon as I said that, this opportunity came up. So Full Armor will be launching. We're less than a year old in terms of being out there for people to know about. And already we're being invited to another nation. And I just believe and declare that this is the beginning of going to many, many nations. As many of you know, we're not just about product. At the moment, t-shirts, that's our first thing that we've produced. Accessories, earrings, cuffs, cuff links. At the moment, we're working on some pocket scarves, silk pocket scarves. They're really beautiful. And we're also about workshops. So it's not just the product, it's a movement, it's workshops, it's events, it's communication, eventually documentaries, eventually films. I write scripts. Currently I'm now giving you a third testimony. I'm gonna save that for the next vlog because I don't want to give you too much. It looks like 10 minutes is going to be my average time. But yeah, I just want to thank God that we are going to Chicago. Praise God. We're going to Chicago. Full Armor is going to be known by people who wouldn't have known it before, and I'm really, really feeling hopeful about it. I'll tell you a bit more about that event in another vlog, as much as I'm allowed to. And just want to encourage you, use what's in your hand. Take that first step. You don't have to see the whole road. You don't have to know the whole journey. You don't have to even know the entire direction. If you consider Abraham, God said to him, go to a land that I will show you. So I'm not even telling you where you're going, but I'll show you when you get there. But how will I know when I get there? I'll show you. Faith, I think faith is one of the hardest things for a non-believer to understand, because it requires you to step outside of knowing. It requires you to step outside of control and surety and certainty, and you have to enter into this other dimension, this other realm that says, I don't know, but I believe. I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know where, but I believe. And I just want to release faith and belief and trust into the atmosphere around me, so that it doesn't only stir up my own life and my own heart and my own spirit, but so that it stirs up the hearts and the spirits of everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching this. There are people out there who've been meaning to do certain things. You have a gift, you're talented, and that you're as good as the people that you see doing the thing that you want to do, but for whatever reason you've held back. It may be that somebody wants to pass. Guys, this has to be the end of my vlog. My name is Karen, and 33 Testimonies, Full Armor, www.wearefullarmor.com. Check us out. Peace and love, people. God bless.